Good afternoon, folks. This is once again and your celebrity scoop. Today we give an exclusive interviews from not one but three Japanese stars, or should I say, former film stars. Alright, so now, of course, I'm sure you all know them very well. The names, of course, of Godzilla, the king of the monsters himself, the Rodan, the radioactive pterosaur, and the divine Mothra, who literally flew all the way from Japan just to do this interview. Will she ever immigrate to America to live with her two friends? Who's to say? Hopefully sooner or later she'll change her mind. We all know how much she cares for her co-star. So, anyways, I'm TV host number 6912, and here is the exclusive interview between the three Kaiju. So, Mr. Godzilla, how's it been living here in America?
Well, I always wanted to make sure I'm able to build a good future for my son. So I figured the USA would be the best place to get that future.
If I recall correctly, this wasn't the first time you've immigrated to the human-built nation, so to speak. You first started living in Japan around 1947, is that correct?
Yep, I swam all the way to Kyoto and attended the local university on that part of Japan.
And the people around there were naturally a bit scared when you arrived, yes?
Of course they were. They as well have given my father's reputation. And
Tell us, Mr. Godzilla, what was your life like before you moved to Japan?
Well, I'll be completely honest with you, Mr. TV host. My father haven't had the best relationship, to say the least. So that's pretty much why I moved to Japan. I took to in Hokkaido, just basically get away from his influence. I'll be honest, the last thing I expected to see when I landed in Hokkaido was to meet three other Kaiju at the university there.
I naturally panicked when I first knew that Godzilla arrived in Hokkaido. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to be dead if I stay any longer. Luckily, Mothra was there to calm me down. And I was saying that it wasn't actually Godzilla, but there was actually his son that was attending the university. I was like, oh, thank God, what a relief. Wait, Godzilla had a son. So we both eventually agreed that we should make a good first impression of him, given that he must be feeling isolated with all these people scared of his presence. It's Mothra's words, not mine, by the way. Just want to make that clear.
I won't lie. I was at first wary of Godzilla giving his reputation as a destroyer and a threat to peace. But as our time in the university, he went by, so he got to see him for what he truly was. It turns out he was the complete opposite of his father. It even surprised me, but to be honest.
Your first film is commonly perceived as an allegory to the horrors of nuclear. But it's, are there any personal perspectives from you about your first film?
Yes, while it is true that the film is an allegory of the horrors of nuclear weapons, for me, it is also a representation of the cold-hearted, ruthless monster that my father was. A lot of people outside of Japan don't know this, largely because the self-defense was doesn't really like being brought up into the general public a lot. So basically, around early 1953, my father attacked Rio and ended up killing a whole bunch of innocent civilians. And he wasn't able to be stopped until the JSDF launched the oxygen destroyer while he was swimming out of the Tokyo Bay. But yeah, and I'll be honest, he had it coming for him.
Do you think there's any reason why something like the oxygen destroyer wasn't used again?
Apparently, the JSDF deemed it so dangerous that they had the formula for it to destroy it. Apparently, the guy who invented the formula even killed himself to make sure that the secret formula never would be shared with anyone. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that Dr. Sarah saw a character in the film was likely made as a tribute to the man's sacrifice.
So, is there any reason you did a solo film about 2 years after the release of Godzilla's film, Mr. Martin? Oh yes, definitely. You see, the orphanage where I grew up was in a bit of a financial pinch. So, I asked the producers of Toho if they would help me make a film. That way I'd be able to fund the orphanage, keep the running for at least the next 5 years. They say yes, and so the 1956 film Rodan was born. Alright. And in that film, were you portraying both of the Rodans, or was one of them a guy in a suit? Oh, it was me and a guy wearing a suit. It was the same case with Godzilla's film, though he'll be too proud to admit out loud by himself. He'll say that he was the sole star of that film. Thank goodness we all have Mothra to keep his ego in check, am I right?
There wasn't really any personal connections to me in my debut film. The film called for a giant moth, and I just so happened to fit the role. And then, since the laws in Japan at the time didn't recognize Kaiju as legal citizens, the filmmakers decided to change the film's title from the novel it was based on the two my name. Not sure if you can get away with something like that these days.
So, Mr. Rodan, do you have any information on how King Kong vs. Godzilla came to be? Oh, it's a long story, let me tell you. But to give you a brief summary of it, basically King Kong is going on tour in Japan. And they told had to have him stuck in a movie along with Godzilla. When they told Godzilla about, he said, "Sir, I would take any chance to brawl with the eighth wonder of the world." Sometimes I still can't believe that he actually said that.
On the big screen, we fought as if we were long-time rivals, but behind the camera, me and King Kong were actually pretty chill dudes. We don't really ever get it riled up if someone was late bringing him his lunches. He particularly liked the pork chow made ramen noodles. That's about I may eat frequently. Though we never got a chance to work on another film together again, I made sure to give him some good pointers for his King Kong Escapes movie with Rake and and after that he pretty much went back to America. When I heard that they were making his original 1933 film, I made sure that'd be first in line to see when it eventually released in Japan. I ended up liking that film pretty much. I can see why the folks on here are pretty big fans of the Big Ape. I guess that's why it kind of broke my heart when I heard that he passed away. Hey, back in 1990. Yep, those were the good old days, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Did you have any part of Toho's decision making to make Godzilla in his films portrayed from a bad guy to a good guy back in 1964?
Well, yes and no. No, when Toho agreed, the final script bit for Mothra vs. Godzilla, both me and Godzilla were pretty enthusiastic about the production. Godzilla didn't really seem to be enjoying it anymore. Given his childhood experiences, it seems pretty understandable why he would feel that way.
Even though I was a rising film star in Japan, and a lot of people were still afraid that I might one day at their home to agenda kill some of its people, just like my father did in Tokyo back in 1953. When I was working on Mothra vs. Godzilla with my friend Mothra, I eventually realized that if I wanted to show the Japanese who I truly was, I need to show who I truly was in my films as well, not just in real life. So, After production wrapped up, I made sure to let the producers at all know what my current feeds are. Alright, they were pretty understanding. And so the next film, I was gonna fight a bad guy. They even gave me the honor to make any suggestions. In what way suggestion in Godzilla? Well, there was only one suggestion that me and my friends all thought for the time. One that we all felt was truly appropriate. I am, of course, talking about the one and only King Ghidorah.
Godzilla wasn't the only kaiju that had a film die back in 1953. It's around that time, Ghidorah we all thought was a kind space dragon. When I emerged out of my cocoon, I found that they killed my mother, and I was actually. They originally came to set forth plans for an invasion for it, so naturally I had to stop him, which unfortunately meant killing him.
You right, Miss Mothra?
Oh yes, it's just even after all these years, it's still kind of a hard thing for me to tell him.
Jeez, I'm so sorry. Would you like to take a short break before we move on to the next question?
Yes, thanks.
That decision proved to be the perfect call. The Ghidorah the Three-Monster was pretty well received. Even because this sudden character development in the film, it was at least from that point the franchise pretty much basically became a Suzy is if I feel series throughout the whole show period. But you are still subject about around the current events, though, right? Not entirely sure what you just said, but yeah, we're still using themes regarding events that happened at the time. I think the biggest example is Ibra Hordedeeper, or as you folks mostly call it, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. You see, around that time, Ibra was threatening the peace of lives of all the Pacific Islanders in the Southern Pacific. So, we decided to make a film basically mocking him. You remember the suit we made was really gonna fight Kika, but he was being tied with transferring film rights from Toho to Rankin Bass. So the role was instead to go given to Godzilla, which personally I think works much better. It may eat less with, but yeah, pretty sure that it had the same effect around on the Southern Pacific, because after what Ibra was no longer the big threat he was when we made the film. Hell, man. So if I were to change anything from the original script that they already hadn't change yet. It would be the scene before the giant consort. Maybe we're the one with the infant anger was trying to get away from Godzilla. Yeah. That one. That's what I'm talking about. I see. You know, Mr. Godzilla, it seems kind of surprising that there hardly anyone has tried to copy your success, or should I say, ripping off your film franchise.
Well, you see, you can't simply make a rip off a film in Japan like you can do it here in the USA or parts of Europe. But there are imitators the films I made with Toho. They exist out there. Just got out there to look. Some are less obvious than others. Some are different enough to even consider to be on their own right. I made Gamma. He originally started as someone trying to copy my success. Eventually, he became a film star of between me and him. Because a few others are the X from our space and ago. Made you think about that British film now, did I?
I'd say my favorite of Godzilla's imitator films would be but I thought the story about the monster family was pretty touching, and the monsters' designs were pretty unique enough to stand on their own. Right, I should probably watch that again sometime soon after I finish this interview. So, was the low box office ratings for Godzilla the reason you took about a 9-year hiatus period films throughout most the rest of the show? Yeah.
No, I mean, Godzilla's Revenge was mostly a stock footage from previous films, and even then, it took like a 2-year break. The truth is, there were a whole things going on, but mainly the biggest issue was television. Television in Japan was kind of ruining the whole purpose of movie theaters. Yes, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of good television shows being released around that time, but again, and it was hurting the purpose of movie theaters. I mean, why spend money to go into a big room with a bunch of strangers to watch a movie when you get a bunch of whole 3 minutes of entertainment once a week with your family at home? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Godzilla.
Basically, the only way the film issue was able to survive throughout the 70s was either they were anime films or they had to some new it together for an adult audience. This is pretty much the era where pornographic films became the norm. over for the movies in Japan. So, if you ever wondered why Japan kind of has an infamous reputation, well, on the West for being a lead country when it comes to producing adult material, that's probably why.
I think the greatest example of what was going, how bad, basically how bad the state of Japanese film industry had got, was with what happened to and the camera, this film picture. I guess, when they were shortly after they released Camera vs. Zima back in 19, when the Thai Film Company declared bankruptcy shortly after. The camera didn't appear in another film again until Super Monster. And even then, that was mostly footage from all the other films he worked on previously before Thai's bankruptcy.
With the release of Gamma Super Monster and the 3rd anniversary of my first film coming up, me and Toho pretty much realized that we need to change things up. So after a bit of talking back and forth, we all agreed that the next film should be a direct sequel to the original Godzilla film. So from the rest of the hate era of my film franchise, I was no longer playing the hero. Now I was playing a sort of an anti-hero. It was also between the release of The Return of Godzilla and the release of Godzilla vs. Biollante that I realized I wanted to make a casino inside my film. So that's when I decided to create a son. When you say you create a son, Godzilla, basically I use some kind of ancient spells to bring me to being, just like what my father did to me. I'm not entirely sure it works, but it works. Though he did come out a bit different than the way he looks now. Hold on, let me get my phone. I stare at the picture in your somewhere. Here we go. This is how he came out. Look at that face. I mean, how can you not say no to that adorable face?
With Godzilla working for Toho on filming back to back. Back in the 80s, I was pretty much stuck keeping an eye on Godzilla Jr. So by the time Godzilla's story was released, Godzilla planned to retire. Here I sort of became a surrogate uncle to Junior by that point. So it was all planned. And good. So we retired from film. He came to focus more on his son. Mothra would star in her own film trilogy. Yeah. More likely to compete with this film trilogy, but that I can never confirm. Yeah, it was all going to be great. That was, of course, until the 1998 incident.
From what I heard, Marina that was a huge fan of Godzilla's movies. He drunk a barrel of reactive ace that he somehow acquired, and then he traveled to the stars film studios and impersonating as Godzilla. Guess it just goes to show how much of a fit he was, I guess. I can't think of another reason.
How is it that Noah within TriStar or Toast was found about the deception?
I honestly have no idea, but by the time anyone fully realized what actually happened, it was too late. Forgot the film made by TriStar was already released. We never found out who the iguana snake was, but we made sure that we would get our revenge upon him. Henceforth, we created the CGI Kaiju, known as for Godzilla Final Wars.
Have either you or Rodan or Godzilla still to figure out what the iguana's name was?
Well, personally, I've never found the time. I mean, honestly, why even bother this point?
Thanks to that, Igua, my retirement plans were put in jeopardy, so I immediately had to get back to those studios and make a new Godzilla film for American 2000 release. Henceforth, Godzilla 2000 Invisible. Once again, I was we're making films that told back to back until 2004, or the 50th anniversary of my first film with them. So we decided for that, we'll do what? Be the final film that we worked together on. So after its release, I was finally able to retire from the film industry for good. Now I could fully get this on again, my son, unprepared for life. It's of course, the only way I was able to truly successfully give him a good head start in life was to immigrate to America, of course.
So you're heading back to Japan after this movie?
Yes, I have some unfinished business in Japan. And as soon as I sort it out, I'll be able to immigrate to America. And hopefully apply for U.S. citizenship. Perhaps it was a good thing that I stayed in Japan while I got zero and moved to America because around 2000, and it was when we got the call from legendary studios that they were working with proposal making, and it got a reboot. So I made sure to film Godzilla right away.
The news came to me as a quiet shock. Okay. I was skeptical about how they were making the film, of course. When I learned that the guy who was directing the film turned out to be a huge fan of my movies, I decided to contact Legendary directly to help get if the guy has a good point. There's they I was sorry that they want me to come out retired, but thankfully no. What they were gonna use CGI animation to portray a enemy or something like me. When they asked me what the Godzilla in their movie should look like, I told them just make it look like my son. And he's pretty ripped. And I gotta say, they animated Junior's likeness pretty well in that film. I will agree with some of the critics that they could have given their Godzilla a bit more screen time. Well, hopefully the sequel will fix this issue when it comes out. In 4 years.
Compared to that whole fiasco back in '98, this film by Legendary was much better received. So I'm pretty sure I was going to use a similar technique at some point. Using to deal with the Legendary and warned about and how they're good make Godzilla movies going forward together. I'm not sure if I was going to go with using suits or going to try use CGI. The next Godzilla movie. But one thing's for certain, we're definitely behind our movie making days. So, Rodan, to finish off this interview, what exactly do you plan to do? After the film release. Oh, the same thing I've been doing for the past 10 years. Enjoying my life. And occasionally get into shenanigans. So with Godzilla and his son. But it's been a pleasure spending time with you, Mr. TV host. But now I'm really hungry. Yes, the flight to next American Steakhouse around here. So see you around whenever that will be. Well, there you have it, folks. So were all the questions that they were willing to answer about their film career. Here's while it seems certain at what Toho Studios and Warner Bros. Legendary plan to do with the this film franchise, the future of the lives of the Kaiju themselves, it was is yet to be seen. But the least we could do all for now is pray that Godzilla will be able to live a long, happy, peaceful life here in America with his son and his friend. And once again, I'm TV host number 6912, and this is your month account of celebrity scoop. At least my studio wasn't lazy to use stunt footage for the majority of the film. I only Godzilla's French wasn't a good film, but at least it indicates that was what mattered at the time.
What do you think you're doing breaking this scoop? All the ratings you have.
I am the cyborg bioweapons agent. I've come to fulfill a mission my master put upon me. Alright, my friend, so this blade dude in the first place, I didn't need to hit. Well, I think we both know who the true King of the Monsters is around here.
Indeed we do, Herberus. Well, Godzilla, I hope this will teach you a lesson on why you don't fuck with the Red King gang.
No! Hold on.
Behold, the almighty King Ghidorah has returned to fulfill his mission to conquer this planet once again. Alright, buddy, come out for yourself. We both know that there's no such thing as a space... What the hell?
See, it looks a lot like Godzilla, doesn't it? I'm sorry, Godzilla, but we've been officially invited to take the dispersion specifically. And I got to admit, you're pretty good at protecting yourself. Except you don't seem to have forgotten to change up your voice place to blue coat dude. Or should I say, Ibra? Okay, so I think so. Major Simon is 100% healthy. No wounds taken. That's good here.
Wait a minute. Did you say my son?
Hold on. Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in bed with a cold.
He has a cold?
Yep. I told him even the window open every night. It's gonna be good. Hey, Leo. How are you with your new brother?
Maybe seeing trouble. Red King. Yep, the one and only. Now, let me back. Alright, tried.
Attack!
Hold on, I'm coming.
Good to see you again, son. You sure have grown the last time I saw you.
Martha, what's going on?
Apparently, you're getting a new son.
What? What? No, it can't be.
It is, Ghidorah. Just accept it. The world that you're about to be assigned to was once assigned to King Ghidorah, and he failed to conquer it even after all the cybernetic implants we gave him. Are you up to the task? Sure thing. I'll see what I can do. Haha! You enjoying the view, Godzilla?
What is this? A free area tour of the Cascade?
No. It's a free aerial tour to your death.
Ah! What the?
Haha. You like what you see? I bet you can even handle the pure awesomeness radiating from my new fucking game.
Whoa! Now that is 100% awesome.
What? Impossible!
In the world of Kaiju, nothing is impossible.
Nah, you don't mind? I got a new way to say that. See you later, douchebags.
She just called douchebags. Dad, you fit? Okay.
I will destroy all that stands before me.
Use your power to engulf your enemies in flames. And use your strength to crush any kaiju that stands in your way. I'm sorry to tell you this, Godzilla, but your time as protector of the Earth is coming to an end. Let me go, you fool! If I battle with your subconscious with this load, I'll become weaker. Just let me go.
No, I'm not letting you go, Cthulhu. I am gonna stop you once and for all. For the people of the Earth, for all my friends, for my son. Now, Leo, hit me with your strongest beam attack. But, good sir, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. You'll all be fine. Just hurry. I don't know how long I can keep you through in my body. Stop it. Never. Okay, I can do this. Oh dear, my dear mother, give me strength. Oh, what happened?
The correct question would be, how did you get so tall?
What are you talking about?
Dude, you're about as tall as your Uncle Space Godzilla right now.
Am I? Huh. So I am. I guess this means I'm the new Godzilla now.
Hey, Leo,
Yes?
you think I'll be able to find my own past one day?
Oh, don't worry, my little sister. I'm sure you'll soon have your own battles soon enough. Oh yes, I have a feeling we'll all have our own battles soon enough.